Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about factoring trinomials when a is greater than 1. So this is like a modified grouping. So if you remember from our previous videos that the general form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. We've seen situations before already where we have something like x squared plus 2x plus 1, where the coefficient of x squared is 1. So these types of questions that we're going to look at are going to be when a is not equal to 1, when a is greater than 1. So let's look at an example like this. 3x squared plus 8x plus 5. Alright, so in this situation, we have a trinomial, we have a quadratic, we have 3 terms. The reason I call this modified grouping is because the way it is right now, we cannot group it. We cannot group this because there are 3 terms, but we need 4 terms to actually do grouping. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of force this to work by modifying this, by manipulating this in a way that we can make 4 terms out of something that is actually 3 terms. So the way we're going to do that is that we're going to multiply a times c. So step 1, a times c. And whatever that number is, we're going to write it in parentheses above. So that's 15. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, at this point, treat it like trips. So this is just like trips now. We're going to find 2 numbers that will multiply to that. So 2 numbers that multiply to AC and add to B. So we need 2 numbers that multiply to 15 and add to 8. So those numbers are 5 and 3. So what's the big deal? Why did we actually do this? Well, the reason that we found the 5 and 3 is so that's actually going to give us some sort of way that we can break up this 8x into 2 different terms. So we're going to bring down our 3x squared, and we're going to break up, and our 5, and we're going to break up the 8x into 5x plus 3x. Notice how 5x plus 3x is 8x. So all we did is we just split that middle term into 2 separate things so we can group them together. So we need something to be able to group with a 3x squared. Are we going to pick 5x or 3x? Well, we have to pick 3x because that's the best, that's the thing that we could pull out the most from. For here, we're going to put 5x. So that is what our new situation looks like. So now we've successfully broke this up into 4 terms. So now there are 4 terms here. So now, at this point, we can factor by grouping, just like we did before. So we're going to group. We're going to pull out our GCF. So we have a 3x is our GCF. So what's left? In the first term, we have x. In the second term, we just have 1. So that's what we have, x plus 1. We're going to factor out a GCF in the second 2 terms. 5x plus 5. It's just 5. What's left here is x. What's left here is 1. Now, as we've always been saying with these, take a look. These 2 factors are the same, so we're done. 3x plus 5, x plus 1. All right, let's look at another one. How about 5x squared minus 11x plus 2? All right. So once again, first thing, a times c. 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to put that in parentheses. So now we're going to treat it like trips. 2 numbers that multiply to 10 and add to negative 11. I write my factors of 10. 10 and 1, 5 and 2. And the only way I can get to negative 11 is if I use this pair. And I have negative 10 and negative 1. Because negative 10 times negative 1 is positive 10. Alright, so now I bring this down. 5x squared, and then I have plus 2. So now I'm breaking up 11x. I'm breaking it up, negative 11x, into negative 10x minus 1x, or just minus x. So, where am I going to put my negative 10x? I'm going to put it next to the 5x squared because the 5x squared and the negative 10x squared have more in common. So now I split this into 4 terms, and I'm just going to group. So, the GCF, 5x squared and negative 10x, I just pull out a 5x. What I have left is just x. What I have left here is just 2. And on the other side, it might be hard to see it, but we want this to say x equals x plus something or x minus something. So we're actually going to just pull out a negative 1 here. So this can just say positive x. So when I pull out a negative 1 from positive 2, I get negative 2. And we are done.